Oh, there's something that will be coming home with me. Hello, Prim friends. I'm in Seville Antiques, and lots of our dealers. You can hear the sound of someone coming in now here this afternoon. I wanted to do a quick video here today. I'm going to run through all of the shops, all of the booths. Lots of our dealers have done refreshes. This is the Gleaner Antiques booth, and they just did a refresh here after Christmas. But I wanted to make sure that everybody hears that right now, winter hours at Seville Antiques, they are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, and the hours that they are open are 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. So that's a little bit of a change. They are now closed on Mondays, and then the evening they close at 4 instead of 5. So make sure you keep that in mind if you are traveling here. That's pretty common. A lot of the shops in the area, because of the weather, will be closing. Some during January, but they typically, often, some of them are available also by appointment. So just wanted to make sure that you were aware. So also make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that button, hit that little bell. That also will tell you when there is a new video that is up. And honestly, the very best thing you could do for our little channel is to hit that share button. That just brings our video onto your over to your social media pages, and it helps promote and let other people see these primitive early American antiques and these shops. Unfortunately, sometimes across our country we're finding that some of them are closing, and so we want to make sure that we promote as much as possible all of these amazing shops that we have here in Ohio. Here, this booth, the Schroeder's booth, they will be featured, I think it's in the February Primitive magazine, so make sure I'll put that on the screen so that you realize that this booth, these dealers from this booth are in that magazine. Love that little cupboard on the wall. One of the things I always like to mention, that even if you're not in the market necessarily for buying things, you can learn so much about staging pieces. It's another sweet little miniature step back cupboard. The blocks, those are always fun to find. I have some that have each of our family's names done in the various blocks. So when you're out and about and you're looking and you see some little old blocks, that's always a good way to display, or also write out Christmas, write out spring, toys, prims, all those kind of things. A fun booth. Beautiful blue pie safe. Some little sheep. It does have something marked, but the tag is over that. Sweet little green chair. Love the wall scale. Oh, there is an apartment above me. That's probably the sound you might be hearing. Look at the size of that early turned red bowl, and that has a foot on it as well. Makes it even more unique. Love those strawberry paintings. So I'm wondering, where are you all watching from? Can you comment in the area below? Let me know where you are watching our videos from. I know we've got some in Scotland and England. Oh, those are wonderful baskets. Nice, large size. That really makes a presence. And there's a neat old folding checkerboard. This might even be a bag. Yep. Early folding game board. An old bag of pieces. How cute. Neat. This is Gina's booth. Love the red wool plaid. Love that big bowl with all the cookie cutters.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea. This is a cute little stand.
It is a Saturday afternoon and the shop is really busy. So, oh, I like that. That's a little repo, but the shelf is really nice with those pegs. Nice little log cabin back there. Love that step back. Really pretty. And that's a unique size. Pretty. So if you saw my last video, we talked about the checkerboards and the size, and that one has the 8 blocks across, so that would make that one an American checkerboard. Nice mantle. So Seville Antiques is located at 14 Milton Street. They are over 5,000 square feet of dealers here. Sweet little green bench. It's got a little stencil on the edges of it. Also a really cute small hanging cupboard. That's really sweet. Looks like some little maybe gingerbread ornaments inside there. Yeah, those are really cute. Aw. Sweet. So this room is referred to as the buttery. Lots of smalls here. This booth, the turnover happens pretty quick in this area, so if you see something, make sure you come in. This booth, they do not ship. So we are well worth a road trip with over 5,000 square feet of items. Yes, very, very worth the road trip. Oh goodness, look at those wooden cats with the marble eyes up there. My goodness.
That's like the busiest time at Christmas.
Right. And they're not even messing around with, and then to get double billed.
Oh, he didn't even tell me that, so it must have not even been a big deal.
Really neat.
I know, and then that stupid woman, remember that sweater
Adorable.
that he kept trying to return her flies down here, the seedlings?
Oh, there's a really nice size dough box. Beautiful open cupboard in blue. And lots of smalls. Some treenware jars, and some animals here.
What is it, Facebook?
All right. We'll go on down. We'll head on down Stauffer's Way. Lots of Crocs. There's an early sampler. I know that one of our viewers is looking for these, so I hope you have wonderful and safe travels to our area. I know you know who you are. Thanks for watching. And lovely booth. It's a really pretty little painting over here with the early glass. Klein Coffin Burger, 1832. Love that rack with the hooks. Nice cupboard with the back almost like a dry sink, but not quite. It's a pretty tin plate back there with that butterfly on it. Can't say I've seen one like that. And then those hearts. Lovely. GHBAUCHARD, I think is what they have on the, must be their name on it somewhere. Here's another little sampler. And more Crocs. And then a crazy quilt with lots of names and initials. And then a sweet butter churn down here. The neat thing with that one, it almost looks like the writing on it almost looks like it's green. Normally those would be, you normally see those in blue, so a little unusual. This is Diane Garner's booth. She does shows lots of areas across the country, if that name sounds familiar. Diane does ship. So if you see something here that you're interested in, you can reach out. Diane is also on Facebook. There's a nice nice lamp that is for sale. Beautiful tin lantern. Okay, here's another booth with some lovely pieces. And again, I'm trying to go a little quicker just so that you get a feel for the items here in Seville Antiques. Miniature child's tea set. How cute. There's an early painted bowl that has a scene painted in the bottom of it. It's another very prim booth. A cupboard top. Nice wooden out of round bowl with the lip on it. Pretty. I love the shutters in the corner. I know I saw an Arnett Santa here coming up, so nice. Davis baking powder, Dill's Best model. Nice cupboard. I love this little crow here. He's got glass eyes. Neat cabinet. Pretty half round window. Some Crocs up on top. Like that braided rug sign. This booth also. Lots of pieces here. Lots of smalls. This is always a fun one. I hear radio in the background, so I'm going to keep trying to talk over that so we don't have an issue with that one. That's a pretty little shelf unit right here. I like that. Nice. Very nice. And then all of these smalls. Looks like a pair, or maybe that is a single crutch, and then another one on the side. Kind of neat for a Christmas display if you're recreating sort of a scene from, oh, what's it called? The scene from the Christmas Story with Tiny Tim. Would be cute. There had been a Arnett Santa in this booth, but that sold before Christmas. If you got that one, good for you. I was surprised it was here as long as it was, but it was kind of high up, so maybe it wasn't spotted. This is one of those booths that really shows you if you are just starting out in prims. I highly recommend getting one of those drying racks and hanging it. There are so many different things that you can hang on that, and also seasonally. So dried flowers and herbs, baskets as you come across those. Just so many different things. The sock dryers, the children's sock dryers, those kind of things can all be hung from those. Nice, tall pie safe. That's got the $6.79. Must have the 12 tins on it. The 6 on the front and then 3 on each side. Those are harder and harder to find. Here's a nice little tin, probably a tin child's plate. Really cute. And there is one, Hey Diddle Diddle, the Cat and the Fiddle. Oh my goodness. So my boys, their nursery was Mother Goose, and I looked for all antique pieces for their nursery. And let me tell you, at the time, it was not the in thing. I don't remember at that moment what the in kids cartoon or whatever might have been, but it made it a little difficult sometimes to find things, but it also made it easy, because when I was out and antiquing, shopping, if I found something that was from one of the Mother Goose stories, I bought it because they were so hard to find. So sometimes if you can really narrow down the things that you're looking for, very specifically what you're looking for, sometimes it can actually make it a little bit easier to pare down and only collect certain things. So, for example, I collect the boxes, the mercantile boxes that would have held spices or containers of spices. So I'm not collecting the individual containers that people across the country would have purchased. I'm collecting the boxes that would have been shipped to the mercantiles for them to sell the spices out of. So it greatly reduces the number of those. Now, are they a little bit pricier? Yes. But when I find a new one that I don't have, it just really simplifies. Okay, I'm going to get that. So just a thought, something to keep in mind if you are either collecting for a long time or starting to collect, that kind of having that in mind can sometimes really help. Because walking into a place like this or some others can be sometimes, especially for somebody new, a little bit overwhelming. There is just so much here, so much to look at. There's a bunch of those hog scrapers up there, which is where the hog scraper candlestick look, why it's referred to as that. Again, lots of things hanging from those here at the top, and each one a little bit different, what's hanging off of it. So I wonder how many of you have started that, or how many of you have gotten a drying rack and are using it for either starting out or just for drying or holding different things. This booth, she makes lots of miniatures, and so some of her really amazing small pieces are here. So if you're a collector of miniatures, this would be definitely a neat case to check out. Sweet little teddy bear, and you can see here by his foot that he is straw stuffed, which makes him even more precious. Pretty. She has really lovely pieces here as well. Beautiful. Couple of really pretty treenware pieces with the lids. Just gorgeous. When you see things that have the crack, don't necessarily shy away from those. You should expect that in a piece that is old and early. These pieces would separate. Now, will some not? Yes. If the humidity where they were kept and continue to be kept is just right, then they may not. But if it got especially dry, if maybe they were stored in an attic at some point in time, that's just something that will happen with those style of pieces, the way they have been cut from the wood. So again, it's actually sort of expected, so don't be surprised. But it is a reminder that during the especially dry seasons, when our furnaces are on, make sure to put either a big sponge of water or even dunk your barrels and your buckets and those kind of pieces, because they need that extra humidity or they risk cracking. Some neat pieces in there as well. This booth, very full, lots of log cabin type pieces here. Really cute. Sweet snowman. And this Santa here out front is really quite cute. Another snowman. There is also a checkerboard, an early one with the 12 blocks or 12 squares across, which should technically make that a Canadian one. I remember when we first kind of had discovered that was the case, that there were the different different numbers of squares, and someone had surmised that perhaps it was because the winters were so much longer in Canada. The dark, unhappy, maybe, dark, gloomy, let's say that, winters. So they wanted their checkers games to last a bit longer. So doing it that way with the 12, blocks would certainly make the games last much longer. Pretty hooked rug here on the floor, hand hooked rug. Nice. It's one of those seaweed. It's called a pepper pot mocha ware. Nice early bird cage in the corner. All right, let's head down towards my booth, down Abbey Lane.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. All right. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
Nice. Nice dry sink, and that's got a noodle board there on top. Pretty game rack. A Tommy stick. These would have been poked into a post or a beam and put a candle in the top part right here so that the miners or whoever was working maybe in a darker area would be able to see. And this little feather tree, that is going to come home with me. Yes. Made by the twins in 1989. It's not an old one, but it's made the way the old ones were, and they are very well-known folk art. The one of the sisters is still, sadly, the other sister has passed. So really pretty pieces here. Nice rye basket. Like that little angel setting on top of the breadboard. There's a nice is that bone or horn? Horn cup. Beautiful. Very nice. And then the sugar mold, or the sugar cone rather. And some pretty clothing pieces, and looks like a skirt or maybe an apron. And then those sweet long red socks, which is what they would have needed those long dryers for. Here also lots of Crocs. And then we'll just keep on going. Look at that beautiful, there are two beautiful onion bottles. It's based on the shape, and then those will have a pontil mark on the bottom. I mentioned that my booth has one as well, but it is not old like this is. See how it dips in and then has that area where the glass would have been cut off where it was being blown, and this one as well. So something to look for if you see them out in the wild. It's a beautiful quilt, and I just love that grain painting on that trunk. It's another really pretty booth. There's those, we've seen those in, like that, in Lisa's booth at the Western Reserve. It's the half of a rope bed. That is there's a word for those. Tombstone cutting board. And then a couple of ovoid shaped jugs. And this is really cute too. The children's sock dryers. And here's a Treen wooden piece, an early funnel. Love those children's socks. Again, really sweet, hanging on one of those drying racks. Beautiful pair of portraits. There's a huge rye basket down there on the bottom, and then this would have been for on a desk for inkwell. That one's pewter, it looks like. A couple more booths, we'll finish off down Abbey Lane, where my booths are. They really need filled back up again. Lots of baskets here. Grace's booth. And some yellowware. There's a corn yellowware at the top. All right. Nice little early Raggedy Ann. And then Deborah's booth. This trunk is new here to the shop. She just recently brought that in. And I know there is a sampler, yep, right around the corner here. Right over here. Beautiful. This one is from 1797. Just gorgeous. Pretty peg rail. I have all the pieces parts now to do a large peg rail in our pantry. You see that the way the edge of the wood has that extra trim kind of, it's sort of beaded. So I did get a piece of wood to be able to do that. It is done already on the piece that I have. So ours will be looking much like that. All right, so we'll head down Abbey Lane. There were some cute carved Santas here. And every time I come lately that I've seen it, I just love this chalkboard. I actually have a spot in the house that might be really useful, maybe in the pantry, to just write when I need something from the grocery store to remind myself. But I don't know if that would really help. I left the house with something that I put right next to the door to remember to bring to the shop, and guess where it's at? Sitting right next to the door. Oh well. Maybe too many things on my mind at the moment, and always. Here's the Arnett Santa I told you about. There are a couple of those, several of those, I guess, here in this booth. He is just gorgeous. He's with his toy sack. Lots of early button shoes there. And then over here, this one, I'm 99% sure that is also an Arnett. The Trading Post Santa, yes. Look at, he's just lovely. Oh, those look like, that's a plant seed pod. And then here is another beautiful Arnett Santa with the pull toy. And then he's got the little old candle there in his hand. Oh, he is really sweet. This booth, Robert, I've seen his booth in several of the shows in Ohio that I've done the videos for. You might recognize some of the pieces here. My goodness, his are quite special, very unique. You do need to be very careful here. There's a beautiful coverlet on that bed. 1834. Look at that ship. Oh my goodness. Beautiful corner cupboard. So oftentimes I'll do my videos here in the evening, but it gets dark so soon now, and I really like to have the extra little bit of the daylight. So you may hear or maybe even catch a glimpse of some people in the background, but this place is often very crowded on Saturdays. So make sure you come in quickly, especially if there's something that you see that you just can't live without. Nice little spice box. So here is my booth. There's a really early trunk there with rose head nails. Has that red, kind of an oxblood color on it. And a Lennox soapbox from Cincinnati. A hooked rug that my mom had done. So we're getting closer to that time frame where the spring, I'm anxious for it with our flower farm. That was something I definitely wanted to mention also, is that I am preparing for planting, for seed starting. And we do have a farm stand out in front of our Cape on the corner. That's only about 5 minutes from here, from Seville Antiques. So I'm really, I hope you comment below if you are in the area or if you plan to be in the area during the springtime, if you would like for me to be planting some extras of things like, what is it called? Cowpeas, sweet Annie, those kind of everlasting things. Let me know, and I will keep that in mind and make sure to have some extras out at the farm stand. So just, again, keep that in mind and let me know if you would be interested in stopping by the farm stand, not only for flowers and sunflowers when those are in bloom, but also the plants. I will be doing a lot of the heirloom tomatoes and the heirloom peppers, all those kind of things as well, the plants in the early spring, and then later in the summertime offering the produce as well. So if that is something that you would be interested in, maybe we can make it a special weekend where those are all out and available, depending on weather, of course. But let me know. Let me know in the comments if that would be something. I'm just not comfortable with shipping plants. You just never know with the weather where they might be sitting, how long they might be sitting. So yeah, definitely let me know if that would be something that you'd be interested in. I love these little lard buckets. I've seen people put their miniature Christmas trees in those, and they just look really adorable. There is a large breadboard. That is probably French. And here on this dough box, there's another one. That one's a bit smaller. And then this beautiful bowl with the lip. This one is actually one of my favorites. I took this out of my own personal collection when I needed some extra ones here at Christmas time. I really probably should just go ahead and take that back home with me, because I hate for that to, not hate for it to sell. If it sells, it sells. But yeah, that might be one that I kind of sort of regret letting that go. This beautiful desk, I bought that from a family that had it. It had only ever been in their family. My understanding from them was that it had come from Rhode Island when the family migrated west. So just a beautiful tiger maple piece. It does have the big dovetails on the corners. Just a really lovely piece. Yes, definitely need something up there. Some more here. This is that real soft paste pottery or china. And then here, another gorgeous hooked rug that my mom did. Just beautiful. That is a big one. So if you're looking for something really large, There you go. I'm not sure if the color is coming out right on that. So anyway, that is our tour for today. I know it was quick. I hope I'm still have all of you with me, or at least some of you with me. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Share with your friends. It does not cost anything to subscribe to our channel. And really what that does, especially when you ring that bell, is it does give you notice when a new video comes out. And like this last video that I just did, that video, I had several things for sale. Almost everything that I had on that video has sold. Not quite everything, but almost everything that I had on that video has been spoken for. So make sure if you do that, ringing that bell, that helps you be aware when a new video pops up. And I will be, on occasion, there will be things that will be for sale there that are unique and kind of one of a kind, sometimes antiques, sometimes folk art, those kind or handmade pieces as well. So keep watching, everybody. I'm so kind of happy to be back. It's January. It's time to start fresh and start new with new videos. So take care, and we will see you in the next one.